That's a 2008. That is the CV axle or half shaft. And it's cold out here. You want to make sure you jack it up from behind the lower A-arm. That way nothing's in your way of removing it. But I'm going to replace it right now. Notice I got the back tires chocked. I'm about to get a block of wood, throw it underneath the frame, and then start tearing this tire off. Okay, nice big solid block of wood underneath the frame. Back wheels are chocked, everything's nice and safe. And I got the tire off. And we'll notice that this shaft is pretty hammered. It's making all sorts of clunking noises whenever I turn and I'm in four-wheel drive. I can also hear it literally just rattling around under here. But I'll also point out that I'll be back under here super soon because that's my upper shock mount. This is my upper A-arm bushing where it mounts. And so I just bought the truck and it's got 170-something thousand on it, but they put a new motor and tranny in it. So it's a good deal, but I have to rebuild everything else because it's obviously shot. Look at that lower shock mount. There's essentially no rubber left in there. It's just bouncing around. Today, I have to fix just the CV axle or the half shaft because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Yeah. Tools I'll be using for this. Of course, the lug nuts is a 3/4. Take the tire off at that. 35mm for the axle spindle nut. And then it's a 36mm for the new axle. I'm not sure why they have different size nuts, but they do. And then of course I'm going to use the screwdriver to take off the center cap right here. Right there. And then I'm going to use a 21mm and a 15/16, or I mean a 13/16 to take off the lower shock bolt. And that'll allow me the room I need to get the half shaft out. And the half shaft bolts, which are in there, are a 15mm. And that's it. Okay, so a screwdriver failed. I'm using this in its place. This should do the job. This is pretty stuck on here. But you got to put it back on, so you don't want to mangle it too badly. I like to go around and just keep working at it till it comes off. There, it's starting. There we go, coming out. Okay, got that off. Didn't cause any major damage to the fin on it because we have to put it back on. That reveals the axle spindle nut. And that's what we use our, I believe this one's a 36mm. Yeah, a 36mm. Beautiful assistant, and that's the easiest way to remove the axle spindle nut. Is have somebody hold the brakes while you undo it. And I have this nice cheater bar I'm going to use to make the job easy. Okay, brakes on. Harder. All right. That's good. Thank you. Yep. I broke the nut free. That's all I need for now. Okay, my lovely assistant is going to hold the brake again. Go ahead and hold the brake. Okay, I broke that one free. I'm just going to go around and break these nuts loose. Okay, release. And brake. And release. And brake. I use a couple of long extensions. Release. And brake. So that I'm outside the wheel well and I don't have to fight as much anyway. Make sure that's on all the way this time. Okay. And release. And brake. And release. And brake. And release. Okay, now I'm going to take them all the way out. Just like that. Okay, I like to put the wrench on the inside of the A-arm and the ratchet on the outside of the A-arm. And hopefully if it's not too bound up in here, it'll break free. Yep, it worked. Got it. The wrench just bottoms out on the A-arm, and then you can just worry about ratcheting the one side, pulling the nut off the bolt. And just like that, you got the nut off. And we'll see if and the bolt does not want to come out because it's probably against the shock and putting pressure on it. So my trick is to jack up the A-arm with a small bottle jack. Okay, I've installed my bottle jack, and now I'm going to jack this up, relieve the pressure, just until I see the shock start to free up from the bolt. And then the rubber could probably fight me too, because it's probably going to get stuck in the rubber sleeve on its way out. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I just tapped the back of the bolt a few times on the thread end, just to see if I could free it up a bit. And it appears to be wanting to cooperate a little bit here. It's kind of a long-winded process, this lower shock mount bolt. And I don't have my new shocks yet. They're in the mail. So I can't install those today. I just have to put this back in with this crappy shock, which is unfortunate. And there it is. I'll clean these bolts up and everything before I put them back in. Okay, after I took this nut off, I made sure that this wasn't stuck and it would slide. And so since it will slide, now I know it'll come out. And then I took off the inside nuts, or bolts. Now I'm going to see if I can get this phone in a position where you can see me take this whole thing out. But essentially I drop the inside end, and then I pull the other end out after that. Okay, now this axle's ready to come down and out of there. I wound up moving my main jack out of the way and just setting it down on that wood block. And then I have another bottle jack underneath the spindle here. And that just comes out like that. And this end just slides out like that. And it's pretty heavy, but there it is. That's your half shaft. And this one is pretty messed up. Let's get a better look at that. Yeah, she's definitely not doing very good. Oh, just fell slap apart. But that's what it looks like inside. That just rolls around inside that housing there. Pretty interesting, really. Okay, I compared the parts and made sure that the new part matches the old ones. One thing I'll point out is that my old half shaft has a washer in a nut, and the new half shaft comes with the washer connected to the nut. It's like a whatever you call that, I'm not sure. And this is how it's done. You just gotta articulate the spline into the hub and try not to bang anything up as you go. Too bad anyway, and then it should just slide right in there. There it is. And then this piece will go right up like that. And let me grab my couple of nuts here. And this spins pretty free right here, so we should be able to just line them up and get one started. I'm going to start one on the bottom. Now that I have all the bolts started in there, I'm going to work my way around this. I'm just going to snug them up for now. And then keep alternating and snugging up the next one. Okay, brake. Okay. Brake again. Okay. Okay, axle spindle nut. Brake. Have somebody hold the brake while you do this. This is the easiest way anyway. That's all there is to it.